in the forgotten corners of history lies a story of a mysterious virus that almost wiped out an entire nation. Few speak of it and even fewer remember. But why don't we hear about it today? What secrets were buried alongside the victims? What happened during this hidden epidemic? And why was it erased from memory? Long before the global pandemics of the modern era, this silent killer swept through cities, leaving confusion, fear, and death in its wake. Scientists raced to understand what was happening, but they were up against a force no one had seen before. Started innocently enough. A few patients with high fevers, followed by relentless coughs. Within weeks, entire towns were struck down, and the streets became silent. Began with a few strange cases. Nothing out of the ordinary. But within weeks, hospitals were overflowing, and entire neighborhoods were under quarantine. Authorities scrambled to respond, but nothing seemed to stop the spread. The virus didn't discriminate. Young, old, rich, poor, it consumed them all. This was no ordinary illness. It spread faster than anyone could anticipate, leaping from one town to another, crippling communities in its wake. Officials scrambled to contain it, but the virus was always one step ahead. What made this virus so unique? Unlike anything before, it mutated rapidly, outsmarting the immune system at every turn. Scientists now believe it was an early form of a virus family we are all too familiar with today. But at the time, they had no name for it. No cure. What made this virus so deadly? At the time, no one could answer that. But modern science has revealed clues. This virus belonged to a family of pathogens known for their ability to evolve rapidly, mutating to evade the body's defenses. Its transmission was unprecedented, spreading through the air and thriving in crowded areas. Without today's advanced technology, researchers were baffled. Efforts to create a cure were fruitless, and with each failed attempt, panic grew. It was only a matter of time before entire populations were engulfed by the plague. Entire communities were left devastated, but with time, the virus disappeared as quickly as it had arrived. When the virus finally faded, the damage was staggering. Thousands had perished. Families were torn apart. Cities stood empty. But history moved on, and the world forgot. With the cause unclear and cure never discovered. All that remains are the whispered stories of survivors and forgotten graves. This plague may have slipped from the pages of our history books, but its lessons remain. Why was this epidemic erased from our collective memory? Perhaps it was easier to forget than to confront the grim reality. Or perhaps, without a clear cause or resolution, it was simply swept aside by larger, more documented tragedies. As we face new pandemics, the ghosts of the past remind us we must never become complacent. Because the next forgotten plague might be right around the corner. But history has a way of repeating itself. The forgotten plague may seem distant, but its lessons are more relevant than ever. Today, as we battle new pandemics, we must remember the past and ensure we are prepared for what comes next. If you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. As we bring you more untold tales of health, science, and the human body. And always remember, your health is your greatest asset, protect it.